being a touring musician can be hard and stressful under normal circumstances. But imagine having a touring schedule, rehearsals, video shoots, and at the same time, juggling a family. And look, you might have a 9-to-5 job as well. And that's extremely normal for touring musicians. When you've got young kids, you want to spend as much time as possible with them. And if you aren't spending enough time with your significant other, then you're going to know about it pretty quickly. Things can go downhill real fast. And personally, I've made a lot of mistakes in this area over the past 10 years. At times, I've most definitely prioritised music over my family, and at the worst times. It's something that I have to live with, and that I absolutely regret. Look, nobody's perfect, and we all make mistakes, but my hope with this video is that it might help a few of you out there to not make the same ones I did. So let's look at a few specific challenges that you might face as a touring musician. Time management. Like I just mentioned, juggling between gigs, rehearsals, and family time can be challenging, but the trick is to stay organised. I'm a big proponent for lists. I love to write a list before I go to bed each night with what I need to do the following day and when I need to do it. Planners and scheduling tools are your friend as well. Having a big planner on the wall at home where the rest of the family can see it as well can work wonders. Financial stability. Being a musician can most of the time mean unstable income. I mean, how much do you really get paid as a touring musician? This will all depend on your position in the band, I guess. If you're a guitarist, for example, touring with a singer-songwriter artist, you're probably going to get paid a set fee per gig. Whereas if you're playing original tunes with your best mates, you're probably going to make bugger all. So you will always want to have another, if not multiple, income streams coming in. And this is so important if you have a family depending on you. When I was touring full-time, I almost always had a full-time or at least a part-time job. I remember having a conversation with a kid way back then who was dumbfounded that I had a full-time job. But you guys are on TV. I have posters of you on my wall. You guys must be rich. The perception versus reality are extremely different from each other. There's several different ways to make money on the side, and I'll go into them in a separate video. But as an example, you could do in-person guitar lessons or drum lessons after sound check at a gig, or even remotely from wherever you're staying via Zoom. You could do guest DJ spots at local clubs wherever you're playing, which means you get to play your favourite tunes. That's what I did for years. Do an in-store clinic at a local music store in the city that you're playing. Start an online clothing store that you can manage on the road. Plenty of options. But personally, I would have a full-time job for as long as it's possible and manageable for financial stability. Travel. Being a touring musician means touring, which in turn means being away from home and the family. Since becoming a father, I do my best to not be away for any more than a few days at a time, and if possible, I take the family with me. For me, it feels extremely special to have the boys standing side of stage or watching from out the front with their mum. I've definitely seen them fall asleep mid-song and have a few meltdowns because they'd rather be watching their iPads. But I like to think that deep down somewhere, they think their dad's pretty cool. Creative blocks. Balancing family life, being a musician, and even having a 9-to-5 on top of that might leave very little time for creativity. I do have a video on overcoming writer's block, which you can check out below. And that video provides a few different ways to stimulate that creativity, because sometimes the ideas just don't come, especially when you have very little time to just let your mind wander and be with itself. My advice would be to try and lean into it and try to use some of those everyday things like hanging out with the kids or being at work as prompts. Draw inspiration from them. My kids are always being stupid and singing silly made-up lyrics. And I join in. And before we know it, we have a song about a frying pan man.
And there was a man, and for a head he had a frying pan. Frying pan man, frying all across the land. Frying eggs upon his head, breakfast for everyone.
Health and well-being. Being away from your family for extended periods of time can be tough. It can be mentally challenging and cause all sorts of emotional turmoil for you while you're away. You may experience guilt. I know I do. You're out there travelling around, playing music with your friends, doing what you love. Meanwhile, your wife or partner is at home dealing with tantrums, meltdowns, dirty nappies, school pickup, drop-off, kids that are crying because they miss their dad. It's tough. Real tough. So with that, here are the 5 things that I find are crucial to balancing a music career with a healthy home life. But before we go further, if you're enjoying this so far, click that subscribe button down below and hit that thumbs up. Every little bit helps. Number 1, communication. By far the most important aspect of any relationship is communication. And I suck at it. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. And this is why I'm sharing these tips and ideas with you in the hope that you don't make the same mistakes that I did / do. Regular and open communication is key. With the help of technology, it's easier than ever to stay connected. But if you're away for an extended period of time, try to set up regular times that you will call the family or FaceTime, like a communication schedule. It's not always a good idea to call at random times, because if you happen to call during one of the aforementioned tantrums or meltdowns, it's not going to be good for them, and it's going to make you feel really, really bad for the rest of the day, at least. If you set up a regular time to talk each day, then at least everyone knows when to expect the call. Your wife can prep the kids to say, look, Dad's about to call. Or if there is a meltdown underway, then she can text you to say, hey, the kids are punching holes in the lounge room walls again. Give me 10 minutes to settle them down. Communication is crucial. Number 2, inclusion. Involve your family in your work as much as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, the best part about being a musician and a father is being able to bring the kids to shows. I'm sure a lot of it is probably pretty boring for them, but I know they feel pretty cool when they're backstage and they can brag about it to their friends. I get them to come up with ideas for songs and I let them help me make them. And then the pure joy on their faces when they hear that song for the first time is priceless. Here's the latest one we've been working on.
Hunchbacks, back, what you think about that? Toe cracks, Mr. Backs, you're a doodle ball sack. Doodle ball sack, 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 doodle ball sack.
Yep, it's called Doodle Ball Sack. You can thank my 3-year-old for that one. Get them involved, take them to your shows when possible, and include them in your work. That way they can see how passionate you are about music, how it makes you feel, how happy it makes you, how much fun it can be, and hopefully they'll understand a little better when you have to go away sometimes. 3, quality time. When you're at home, make the most of it by prioritising quality time with your family. As fun as it is to do music stuff with the kids, they just want to be kids and do kids stuff as well. My kids like playing football, basketball, soccer, cricket, motorbikes, riding on their scooters, jumping on the trampoline. The kids don't care how many Spotify plays you've got or how good the new merch looks. They want you to build a Hot Wheels track with them or sit on the lounge room floor and build a tower out of blocks with them. And don't forget date night. It's equally as important to have quality time with your partner as well, without the kids. If you make her feel good, make her feel special, make her feel loved, then it's a lot easier for her to run the household while you're away. Number 4, balance. It's a broad statement, but you'll want to find that balance between your music career and your family life. And you want to ensure you're giving the right amount of attention to both. And this really includes the 3 tips that we just covered: communication, inclusion, and quality time. Your family needs to know that at a certain time, could be 5, 6 p.m, each day, it's tools down and the focus is on them for the rest of the night. And maybe you have a no work policy on the weekends at your home. Discuss these strategies with your partner and find out what works and what gives you that balance that fills everyone's cup. 5, support. Having a support system is crucial. And if you nail the 4 tips that I just mentioned, then you will have that support system at home that will enable you to do the thing that you love while minimizing the pain, friction, and stress that a touring lifestyle can inflict on a household. Talk to your bandmates about this stuff. Most likely they all have similar struggles. Share ideas and help one another when you're on the road. And that, my friends, is how we keep the rhythm going, both on stage and at home. Remember, it's all about finding your unique harmony between your music and your family. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more insights into the life of a musician. Leave a comment below sharing your own experiences with juggling family and music. And did you happen to see one of these guys in the video? My kids are always watching these hidden items and spot the difference videos on YouTube, so I thought I'd put one in this video. If you find it, tell me where you think it is in the comments. Thanks guys, see you next time. For me, it feels fuck you, fly. If you found this video helpful, don't feel the gig.